nobody was responsible because everybody was one. The polluter and the pollution preventer is one. So that gave an idea in 90s that why can't this become a business in India? Whoever produces pollutes. And I say whoever produces gives me potential. He doesn't pollute. So we created a common facility. We did this research work for 3 years, studied some best practices of the world, and we could achieve recycling or converting hazardous waste into fuel for cement companies. So just to cite an example, in 2009, we did 100 tons a month. Today we do 1,500 tons a day.
That's a number.
And believe me, I never thought that we'll reach here. I wrote a white paper on that if we can have pharma park, we can have a textile park, industrial parks. Why can't we have a waste park?
Welcome to HT Smartcast and Min Sustainability Summit podcast series, where we bring you conversations that matter for the planet and for business. From boardrooms to borewells, the sustainability story we need to hear. So let's get straight into the conversation. And today with us, we have Mr. Girish Ramesh Luthra, who is the chairman of the Luthra Group. Sir, my name is Karthik. I'm the host. And as we all know that India generates 60 million tons of waste every year. And most of it actually goes into landfills. They mostly go into the dumpings. But if this waste could actually generate power, if this waste could generate job, and if this waste could actually generate circular economy, your name comes right front of it, because you have been into the forefront of doing all of this for so many years. You have been in the fraternity since last 4 decades. And you have been proving everyone right that the waste that is being generated out there can be turned into business, can be turned into a sustainable business, which not only blooms the industry, which not only blooms our pockets, but it also blooms our planet. So first of all, I would like to thank you from the bottom of our heart for sparing your wonderful time and being here at this podcast, because there are some wonderful insights that we really want to know from your end, because you have been a brainchild behind the Luthra Group of companies. And beyond this role, you have been an entrepreneur, you have been a leader who has been doing this for so many years. How does this feel when you see that one small step that you took back in 1999 has now transformed not only your organization, but this industry as well?
Thank you, Karthik. It is a pleasure to have been working in this sector. My normal talk to my team, as well as my colleagues or even to the media or people at large, has been, I have never worked because I've done only that drives me. So if it is not passion driven, it cannot be converted to business. So going back to history of Luthra Group of companies, which is about 70 years of industrial experience, mainly with textile, from textile weaving to processing, which was a polluting company. And way back in 90s, we started recycling water within the industry. Working with UNIDO, UNEP, then USAID, JEF, Japan, Canada. All these agencies taught us that this is a business. This is not social work in any of the developed world.
Okay.
So that exposure, and then as I've been associated with the chambers and FICCI and CII and actively at the national level as well as the city level, state level, I just thought that right now this activity is being carried out by associations or NGOs.
Correct.
Who are talking of industrial waste disposal or wastewater treatments. All that together, nobody was responsible because everybody was one. The polluter and the pollution preventer is one. So that gave an idea in 90s that why can't this become a business in India?
Okay.
So we were the first investors into hazardous and toxic waste management and recycling companies, which is otherwise called total disposal facilities for hazardous waste. I'll come to your municipal waste later. I'll share my journey in short. Then that we started as landfills, and incineration is thermal destruction, and there were some other chemical, physiochemical treatments and destruction methods, but they were all destructions at the end of pipe.
Okay.
And in 90s, what I had learned in my textile company was that it is better to save at source. So reduce your pollutant load at source. And I'm talking of 90s, where people were not even thinking on that in this country.
Correct.
When we had exchange with US aid in US, they said even we have not been gone that far, how much we have achieved. So what we did was replace chemicals, shorten the process, change the process plants. We reduced our pollutant load by 30% at source.
Okay.
So that much less to treat. So better.
Correct.
So that concept went into our mind so much that when I started waste disposal company, in 3 years I said, no, this is something we are not doing right. Well, everybody was doing disposal, we were also doing. So we said, let's put up an innovation team, let them start studying this aspect, that what can be recycled. And now hazardous and toxic waste are flammable. They are toxic by nature. They can be fatal. They can be like big challenge area. There are more than 5,000 kinds of waste in industries, because it is from pesticides, from pharma, chemical, dyes, textile, automobile, paper. Everybody, whoever produces pollutes. And I say whoever produces gives me potential. He doesn't pollute.
Absolutely.
So we created a common facility. We did this research work for 3 years, studied some best practices of the world, and we could achieve recycling or converting hazardous waste into fuel for cement companies.
Okay.
The cement companies work at very high temperature, so the left out toxicity is almost nil.
Okay.
So we can't use that fuel anywhere else. But in India, it was not even 2%, not even 1%. Now it is almost 8% of the fuel replacement of cement companies.
Okay.
Only hazardous toxic. Forget municipal. That is easier. Because that's not toxic. That's voluminous. So just to cite an example, in 2009, we did 100 tons a month. Today we do 1,500 tons a day.
That's a number.
So, and believe me, I never thought that we'll reach here. But that, you take baby steps, you get confidence about first 10 type of waste, then 100 type of waste, then 1,500 types of waste, and then. So today we handle almost 2,000 plus types of waste, which we are converting into. We may handle other waste for disposal, but this is what we convert. So that whole idea was waste minimize at source, recycle, reuse. So that helped. In 2009, as I said, this is a passion-driven business for me. Right? Sometimes I always, lighter mood, I say, ke, who pushed me into this, I don't know, but I pushed. So we had conceptualized in 2009, I wrote a white paper on that if we can have pharma park, we can have a textile park, industrial parks. Why can't we have a waste park? So you are a company in, say, Austria, and you have an expertise of doing X kind of waste recycling. The major pain for any international mid-sized companies, and they are mostly mid-sized companies, were not very large.
Okay.
The large ones, like a couple of them, which are there, only 5-6 of them in the world, they focus on the larger things. They don't look at recycling too much. They want a wastewater treatment plant of 100 million liters or 50 million liters. there are so many technologies available in the world. I said there is no sense of rebuilding the wheel or reinventing it. So we said, let's make a park. You come from Austria, somebody comes from Germany, somebody comes from Japan and US, whosoever is the best, they want to establish their system here. Here we go, give them a piece of land which is clear titled, clear everything. There all environment clearances are done and they are ready to plug and play. So I thought, let's do a 100, 200 acre park on this concept. Now this is one which has still not materialized since 2009.
Okay.
Otherwise, whatever we have thought, our team is very capable. They do a lot of work and we get results. But this needed a lot of governmental interventions and things like those. So we went slow on that. But we called it grams.
Okay.
The idea was that we convert tons into grams and then dispose grams.
And so, while looking at the stats, if you talk about 1999, where it was 100 tons a month, and now when we talk about it's more than 1,000 tons a day.
Yes.
What kept you going? Because like you rightfully said, it's a passion-driven project. For you, it might be passion. But what escalated your team to actually dig down deep into this project and work so much that from 100 tons to more than 1,000 ton in a day?
See, 30% of my team which has joined me in last 20 years are passion-driven. They came to this sector because they wanted to do something on that. And when 30 is there, then rest of the 70 comes in line.
Correct.
Well, most of the people have no goal. Some people have. And those some are enough. And then is, success gives you drive. When we were talking of 100 tons, once me and my chief executive, my director, we were sitting, why can't we look at 500 tons a month? And we were 5 times. That's a big thing. That my CEO said, give me 1 day. I'll come back to you tomorrow. And next day he says, sir, we can achieve 1,000. I said, that's great. Let's target. And we achieved 1,000 a month in almost 3-4 months.
Okay.
So gradually, but then waste type were to be increased to increase volume. That's where we brought in a lot of knowledge base. We built we call it InnoQ in our company, Innovation and Quality. That department was built to just go on adding. Then we took a couple of patents on handling them. After a few accidents, you learn
Correct.
the harder way. Then those patents were also on classifying waste, that which waste can be handled how. I hold a patent on that name also, on that subject as well. So, that passion drove the whole story.
Correct.
Now, coming to your municipal waste, that big number that you were talking of. Here, the issue is combination between government, because it's government waste. The waste proprietor is government today, the collector. That gave a lot of jerk to this sector. We were not very active on municipal waste. Just because of this reason that this L1 story is not what we get into. We want T1, then L1. Then it makes sense. Then people who matter will enter the game. I can't compare a kabaddi. Because he has no knowledge, he just wants to take the project, then do it, not do it, he is not responsible. As a company, which is an institutionalized company, we would like to be more fair and clean and ethical on working. So we entered late. Again, Corona came on help when we talked about let's create something in municipal, because these pile of waste, Delhi has close to 2.5 crores ton of waste,
Yes.
in those 3 piles. So we said this is not being segregated manually, it cannot be done so well. And we don't want to do an eye wash. Either we do it or we don't do it. So we experimented and created a fuel from this waste which is equivalent to the Indonesian coal,
Hmm.
and introduced it to the market. Market acceptance was quick. So far, RDF in India is a bad name because they're not the right quality, so nobody wants to create it. All they're doing is using this dump, reducing the dump, putting it here. We want to bring it to zero, and we have been able to achieve. So, again, but the challenge is that why didn't we expand fast? Because we don't want to go to the L1 stories. We want to be the right tech provider. So, journey is tough, but it's easy.
That's a statement for the ages, sir.
Yes. And wastewater, let's talk about. I'm talking as a bundle of municipal problems, solid waste and liquid waste. So our sewage. Sewage waste water actually in India on an average about 125 liters a person a day is the generation. Now if that comes into place, and it can be recycled very easily and cheaper than the fresh water or almost equal price. It has to have individual government wills because this is in corporations and there are some few hundred corporations across. Then there are some smaller clusters of villages. I had calculated $1 trillion investment can be brought into this only two sectors of municipal and.
Correct.
So, why it cannot happen? It can happen. Only thing is will and push. So, I mean, government tried their best 3 times. Again, वो favorism में it failed technically and results could not come in. And almost close to 1 lakh crore रुपया was invested by various forms, including private players, did not work out.
Okay.
Now things are taking shape in last 3-4 years. We've been able to, some company, others have been also able to get some results. Now I think it will come up. So whether we bring energy or we do steam or we do pellets or we do, there's a lot of construction debris which can be used for filling or recreating construction material. Technologies are available.
Correct.
Waste is available. It's now about the bridging the gap.
Mr. Luthra, it's always great to talk about facts and figures because facts and figures actually get the most out of a person. And you have been a pioneer in this industry. I'm stating the facts out here. You're handling close to 20,000 tons of municipal solid waste every single day. And this is happening across multiple states, not just in Delhi. And you are converting it into, you rightfully said, the RDF. Now that we know India is, generating 60 million tons annually, what do you think from your vantage point of running from India's, one of the largest private operations? What's the missing link? What's the missing link between a proven plant level success and fixing a larger municipal system?
As I said, the missing link is the will. And of all stakeholders. See, average person doesn't bother about it. He says, man, I have given the waste, I am done. Corporations feel that we have certain budget restraints, we have certain challenges, so we are doing step by step. Not realizing that your steps are so small that by the time you reach X level, your population is only 2x or 3x. So the generation is 2x, 3x. Secondly, a fair playing field. A fair playing field is missing in India. That is where I said T1 and L1 comes into place.
Okay.
Technically qualified, right size of companies, comparing an apple to an apple and not apple to an orange. And we have lot of unorganized players in the country who have not enough knowledge, not enough infrastructure, but they are doing the job for the sake of doing it. So that gap has to be filled by some policy interventions. That is all what I feel. Investments coming in from international sectors, countries or players and Indian players, that is not a limit.
Hmm.
A $1 trillion can be brought in. India can get that kind of money. Some part government has to give, some Indian investors would do, and some investments from outside. Technology available. Manpower training. Now manpower is available, may not be 100% trained, but fairly well trained, skilled people are available. Over a period of last 25, 30 years, we have seen people joining this sector more. When we joined, we had a challenge. We never got a person who knows waste.
Correct. Mr. Luthra, circular economy is a buzzword for you. We know that. And, with your organization treating waste materials as raw materials, you have given this country many things. It can be clean water. It can be clean fuel for that matter. Eka coal is something that I'm very curious to talk about. Can you walk us through that as well?
See, this is what I was telling, that hazardous waste we converted to fuel for cement. Municipal waste we converted to RDF, but coal quality, so we call it at Eka coal. Eka, of course, means number one.
Number one.
And what is sustainable is always number one. So that's why we always call it Eka coal. So that now the tech is stabilized.
Correct.
Now it's about willingness to do the job. I've already covered that earlier, so I will not repeat it. But this is what I feel, that Eka coal potential is whatever waste is generated, say about 25% of the same is fuel. Now you said 60 million. So 15 million. Imagine the amount of foreign exchange saved because of no import of coal or less import of coal.
Correct.
The cascading impact is very high. Not only ecologically, also economically.
And Mr. Luthra, from working in clusters and working with the government as well, you have been a part of the Swachh Bharat initiative as well. How do you see technology and the behavioral changes when you work for creating a real industry? Because, with the advent of technology, everything is just, one click away. You can actually connect with people. You can actually have a lot of platforms to talk about all of these things. So what do you think those behavioral changes are when you have to create a real-time industry?
See, I feel that generational change when it comes into government also, the administrators, into politics also. You see the younger political leaders, their thought processes are more proactive towards. Not that the older ones don't have. Our beloved Prime Minister has great ideas. I had liberty to meet him a couple of times, and you give 2 statements and he give you 4 ideas. That why can't you do this also? That way, that leadership change, our ancestral wisdom said, Jaisi Raja, Vaisi Praja.
Correct.
So that's always starting from top. In my company, it would be how I behave, my team will behave. Similarly, at the country level. So that aspect of change between thoughts will bring the change. Otherwise, abhi the older people, if I look at, or the older way of working still persists, of not taking new technology into consideration while considering a project, while only talking about the risk of failure is too high in my head, so I don't take a call. That happens within industry and within government both. So there are only select people who can think mad that let's do it. Hoga, failure hoga. That's okay.
Correct.
So by fearing failure, then I'm not an entrepreneur if I fear failure. Then what's the difference between an employee and an employer? He thinks I'll risk, I'll fail, I'll lose. The fear of losing is also a challenge in government, because any project approved and doesn't work, and then CAG, and then this audits and that. So everybody has their own restricting points. boundaries.
Mr. Luthra, having associations with UNIDO and UNEP is actually like wearing souvenirs right on your shoulders. You have done it. And now that we are looking towards the future, if we talk about 2030, what do you think are the policy shifts, partnerships, and initiatives that will help scale energy generation models?
See, I'll talk about green energy generation models. And I'm not talking of solar, hydrogen, or those things which are, those are areas where everybody has been talking. And we are talking again from a fresh product like a fresh windmill, a fresh solar panels,
Correct.
or solar condensers, or we talk about hydrogen is a product. And green hydrogen is produced by green energy. Fair enough. I'll restrict my thought processes from where we talk waste to fuel. So basically, policy intervention of ease of doing, bringing in the right technology and supporting the right technology will help this solution very easily. We talk of ease of doing business. I said ease of bringing the right tech. Tech is available. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. The plants that we established are like 80% German. Only those small motors and drives are from India.
Correct.
Because they had already done it. Why should I reinvent? Like membranes for water recycling. It's available in the world. Today it's a commodity. Why should I reinvent it? I just buy it and use it. So in environment technology, for the larger people who are interested to, somebody is interested to enter into this sector or something. Environment technology, there is nothing like environment technology. It's a combination of civil, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. It's a combination. So all you need to do is combine the right model for the right problem and solve it.
Okay.
So it's bundle of it now is being taught as an environment engineering because that's how super specializations occur. But if you ask me, basic engineerings are only electric, mechanical and civil and chemical. So these are derivative engineerings. So knowledge is there.
Correct.
It's assembly of knowledge. And ethical push in companies that we want to do the right way. Otherwise, earning money the wrong way is easy.
Absolutely.
Do the waste, dispose it half, partly right, partly wrong. But that doesn't work.
Correct. Mr. Luthra, last but not the least, this last question that I really want to ask you. Every single day when we switch on our televisions, we are seeing a lot of environmental factors that are, out there in the world. And talking about a sample size like our country, we are seeing a lot of cloudbursts that are happening. And it's all because of the environmental impacts. There is pollution. There is everything that is happening in our country is related to environment. It's the mother nature giving us back. It's right. It's the right way of actually saying it, that the mother nature is giving us back. How do you think that India's waste sector, which is dealing with environmental impact, can actually translate economically and can bring an add-on value to it?
See, we discussed a lot of ideas where it can bring in value and recycling. So tech is available, money is available. It's about now willingness. Where there is a will, there will be
Correct.
a way. But first I would like to, correct certain notions of people. Research and research papers, n number of them, today talk of that the amount of pollution added into the atmosphere of the earth as a whole, which is caused by human activities. So covers all your activities you have in mind.
Okay.
Whether it is vehicle, industry, my breathing, or my toaster at home. My toaster is more toxic than anything else. A burnt toast is carcinogenic if you are standing next to the toaster.
Toaster, yes.
So, but that was a small example, but larger picture. The total climate change caused by human activities, it would include mining, it would include shipping, everything.
Everything.
All bundle is 5%. 95% is natural. Waste management sector is a great sector on which the whole country politics plays in certain developed countries. Economies run around it. Now you can't shell off those ideas where you can be the, like at one time religion became the driver of politics.
Correct.
In many developed countries today, green is become a driver of politics. So they would never like to bring these data out, and it's 5%. Now even if I reduce it by 50%, it goes to 2.5%. What is happening in 95 and then 97%? So that doesn't mean that we should stop thinking about not correcting ourselves or going green on vehicles, or life story should be around a green way of life. That doesn't mean so. But however, my only appeal is that don't get carried away with that so much that you bring negative emotions into your life. Because this subject has been, as you said, open channels. One of the channel would be talking about it at any given moment. It's creating panic, right? Panic creates emotional pressures. Emotional pressures create depression. And then that's become a societal issue. Without understanding the whole subject, I'm just attacking. Barbad ho gaye. Fair enough. We will go to, now we talk about COP25, COP26, and things will go on. India has been signatory and we have been signing most of the international treaties agreed upon. Why our Prime Minister took a stronger stand this time? That because every time we are being bullied by US, Europe, Japan. I said their per capita consumption is 5-10x to us. So in total, if you tell us that you reduce your carbon footprint, we will do what we like. They need more. But you see how it happened in the world economy, carbon trading, emission trading schemes failed. Because there are variety of interests. So these geopolitics will not have so smooth sailing of this whole concept.
Correct.
So what we need to take, I understand we need to take a call. There could be more companies like us who should be working on it. But because the higher gestation period, our average gestation period ranges from 2 to 8 years. So we don't earn money till then. We have to just pump in money. And how many people are ready in business world to do that? No. It was out of passion, but how many people will do passion business? Business is done by number work, balance sheets. We in our company have been focusing on ecology and then economy. So we could, now it's 30 years of working, we know that we have 7 plants which are now stabilized. There are 3 plants which are still in that gestation phase. By the time these stabilize, we'll create 3 more. So now it's a cycle. We'll handle it.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Luthra, for sharing your valuable time with us and sharing these wonderful insights. And you have spilled the beans so beautifully. So we thank you from our bottom of our hearts to you. And I hope that you have a great day ahead. And for all the listeners out there and for all the viewers out there, sustainability is not just about protecting the environment. It's about building resilience to industries and livelihoods too. Well, for more conversations, stay tuned to HT Smartcast. I'm your host, Karthik, signing off.